we got some good games this weekend. Let's start with the Eagles Bucs down in Tampa, a place Philly has struggled in.
It's time. No
and
more
look,
running.
them Birds is coming off a miracle comeback win. Oh, let's just erase that part.
Yeah.
The Eagles got a win.
Yeah.
Somehow last week. No, we're going to go with Skip. Skip, how do you feel,
I'm going to go last.
or how do you think Baker Mayfield Bucs is going to hold up against the Eagles and their two lucky? The Eagles and their 2 lucky wins.
And 2 lucky wins. One against your Rams. That was some comeback deal. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched it.
I'm sorry.
I had a post ready. I was bragging.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you ain't posted.
I had it all loaded up and getting ready. I had it scheduled and everything. Oh, man. He blocked kick. His big ass get up there anyway, but go, Skip.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to win this game. Another late and close game. This will be 28-27 home team, Tampa Bay, because I am not betting against Baker Mayfield in a game of this magnitude and stature against the 3-0 defending champs. Baker Mayfield finally, as Gerald well knows, has a foothold in the National Football League. He finally has a franchise that believes in him and has committed to him and that loves him with heart and soul because he plays with his heart and his soul. And he's 2-1 against Jalen Hurts. He lost the first one, but he's won the last 2. And when I look at these numbers, the first was a playoff game after the 23 season, and Baker threw for 337 and 3 touchdowns and no interceptions, and turned right around in week 4 of 2024 and threw for 347 and 2 more touchdowns without an interception, and also had a rush TD. So he has lit up Philadelphia. Tampa has had a long history of having success against Philadelphia, but I'm throwing that out. This is about Baker right here, right now. And all I know is that this guy has the #1 passer rating in postseason games in NFL history. This guy has 12 touchdowns to only 3 interceptions in playoff games, and I consider this a quasi, at this point in the season, this has playoff implications, if you will. It has stature and magnitude because a statement can be made with both teams 3-0. And I'll give you, there's no Mike Evans, and you want to talk about a 6'5" difference maker. Ask Tom about that, right? But Chris Godwin's going to try to give it a go. They can run the football, and I think they will be able to run the football against the Philadelphia Eagles because everybody's been running successfully on the Eagles. So I think that Bucky Irving and Rashard White, I think you're going to see them smash and flash all day long. And I think Baker will make some key throws to Ibuka and maybe to Chris Godwin. I don't know exactly what to expect from him, but I like Baker pulling out another late and close.
Yeah, I'm going to go Tampa. I'm going to go Baker. What I saw last week in him, he was slinging it. He was efficient. There's playmakers all over the field. I really like what they're doing with Bucky Irving, just getting the run game going. Yep. They look really creative, and they're getting some big chunks. With the Eagles, I'm not vibing with Kevin Patullo, the offensive coordinator. And first half of that game last weekend against the Rams, they were getting booed out of the stadium.
They were.
They couldn't establish the run. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith in the first half, non-existent. They get down in the second half, and all of a sudden the passing game opens up, and they're feeding A.J. the ball. They're feeding Devontae the ball. I don't think that they found their rhythm yet. Running the ball, I think they're struggling at the guard spots. Landon Dickerson's a great player, but he's injured. Steen, the other guard. It just doesn't feel like Philadelphia Eagles football where you just hand it to Saquon and he's going to run for 60 yards. He's making cuts in the backfield. He's not getting the yardage. And the passing game has been abysmal up until this point. We talked about getting Malik Neighbors involved early to build some momentum. I don't understand how you don't get A.J. Brown a slant early in the game and let him just rumble in there and take out your linebacker, your safety, all of that, right? So I think that the Eagles are a little hampered. I think that the Rams exposed that defense a little bit. What you saw with the Eagles defense is they have talent, they have speed, they got into the red zone, and it's really, really hard to score on them, right?
Yeah.
Bend, don't break. But the Rams were impressive. Moving the ball up and down the field, running the ball, throwing the ball. They really did whatever they want. Back to Baker. He's playing his best football. The offense coordinator down there found what he does best. He's throwing it on time, he's throwing it efficiently, and he's zipping that ball in there. That's how I know Baker has confidence, because he is slinging that thing.
I'm going to ride with the Eagles. I knew it went last.
It's Baker.
I'm going to ride. We know Gerald going to pick the Bucs.
Let me go last.
We know Gerald going to pick the Bucs. I probably should have went last. I'm going to ride with the Eagles because, I mean, they the champs. You got to go beat the champs.
Yeah, you do.
It's hard to beat the champs when you handicap. You got your right tackle out.
Yeah.
You might get a guy back. Even if worse do come back, you got to get your feet under you. This ain't just you get in and you right back to full speed. No, this a great Eagles D-line. You're going to have to get them kinks out. You're going to have to work them kinks out against the champs.
I wouldn't say great.
You're going to have to work them kinks out against the champs.
Yeah.
If Godwin do play, he's going to have to work them kinks out against a pretty good defense. And what nobody up here talked about the middle of the pack Bucs defense. That's a middle of the pack defense. In passing, they middle of the pack. Against the run, they middle of the pack. Oh, they pretty good against the run. Points per game, they middle of the pack. Like, it's the middle of the pack defense. So, and Richie hit it on the head. The Eagles play how they play. They want to run the football, play defense. If we can't run the ball, guess what we can do? We could transform to a dynamic passing offense. That's what make them so tough to beat, Richie. Is if you could prepare for a team and we know they're going to throw the ball, it's easy. We know they're going to try to pound the ball down our throat, pause. It's easy. You know what I'm saying? When we don't know really how they're going to attack us, when we don't got a gauge on how they really going to attack us, that's what make it a little bit difficult. You make one game plan to stop Saquon, then you can't stop these guys on the outside. The Rams, they seen it firsthand. They load this box, we going to stop Saquon. We think we got it done in the first half, then they come out a totally different team in the second half, and they kill you in the air. You know what I'm saying? So it's a tough team to beat, bro, especially when you got a middle of the pack defense. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, until the Eagles lose a game, they done won like 17, 18 in a row.
Yeah.
I'm not picking against them.
All right, before you go, I mean, are you impressed with the Eagles so far these last 3 games? Like,
what's the Eagles' record?
They're 3-0, but
That's very impressive.
But for a team that's coming back as a champ,
See, that's the thing. That's what makes it so impressive, Gil. When you the champ, right? You got the fucking bullseye on your back, right? Everybody's gonna come out and give you their best shot. It's hard to win games like that. It's very hard to win games, period, in the NFL. Let alone when you got the bullseye on your back. When the teams they played the Chiefs. They played the Rams.
On the road.
Like, bro, these are tough games to win.
Yeah.
And they 3-0 right now.
Yeah.
That shit is beautiful. Hey, Gil, it's not about blowouts.
Gil, let him go.
It's not about blowouts in the NFL.
I know that.
We could go week to week, right? Out of 15 games, it's probably like 3, maybe 4 blowouts for the week. Teams don't get blew out in the NFL. Everybody is pretty much on the same level. Teams know how to win games at the end. That's what make you champs.
Oh.
But is it them winning that game?
Hell yeah.
They won against the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Well, why did they win against Dallas?
That was
What you mean, why did they win?
CD dropped 4 balls. That's how they won.
Right?
Am I right? That's what you say. Hey, listen,
I'm just saying, but
to me, they got a turnover, a punch out at the end of the game and flipped the momentum of this motherfucker.
Okay,
that's how I saw it.
And then
I don't know if those 4 catches would have made them win the game. I don't know.
Them 2 blocks.
They find
them 2 blocks.
But that's the beauty.
Did he get drug tested?
Hey,
you know what? Now I'm mad. Did he
Gil, 3 phases of the game, Gil.
Nah, man.
Look, when you kicking the field going against the Eagles, they got the 2 most athletic D tackles right here over the guard coming to block it. That's a phase of the game you got to deal with.
Yeah.
You got to deal with that shit. You can't find me another pair of D tackles that look like that. They'll kill anybody in the make. Dude, give them an obstacle course. They'll murder any 2 D tackles you put out there. They'll murder them. Anyone. You got to deal with that, bro. It's 3 phases of the game. That's another part of the game you got to deal with from the champs.
All right. I'll stand down.
Got to go beat them guys.
So everything everybody said is incredible. We know there's injuries on both sides. You got Lane Johnson, don't know if he'll play, but you got Hassan Reddick, who, if he doesn't play, has a personal vendetta that he might want to get back at the Eagles, okay? You got wide receivers that are in for Philadelphia, you know, the weapons. Saquon hasn't been playing at the level he played last year. Don't overreact. He's still Saquon. Baker is facing a quarterback who has exactly what he has. He finds a way at the end of the game.
True.
This game is going to come down to who steals an extra possession and who has the ball last. But you know what nobody said that I think everybody should pay attention to? Sometimes people just have your number. They just got you figured out and you can't figure them out. You remember when Tom went to Tampa? And for some reason, every time they played New Orleans, he just couldn't figure out Dennis Allen.
It was disastrous.
It was just like, what the heck is going on?
At home, they got blown out on Sunday night it was. Yeah.
Here is the X factor that none of y'all mentioned, that the Philly fans and Eagles fans hate for me to keep bringing up. Jalen Hurts is 1-4 versus Todd Bowles. He cannot figure him out. He has to. You said, well, why in the first half didn't they get the ball to these wide receivers? He just, whatever. That was versus the Rams. Go look at Jalen Hurts and how he plays versus everybody else and how he plays against Todd Bowles. He has his number. Y'all laughed at me when I said the biggest threat to the Eagles, not to the NFC to win the Super Bowl. The biggest threat to the Eagles are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and everybody laughs at me. But nobody laughs when I say that Jalen Hurts is 1-4 versus Todd Bowles, who is the head coach. He cannot figure him out. He cannot figure it. I understand they find a way, but this is about one game. Tom Brady and them lost to the Saints twice the year they won the Super Bowl. Got embarrassed, got in the playoffs, figured it out, ended up winning the Super Bowl. This is not a Super Bowl question. This is a Week 4 Bucs versus Eagles question. Jalen Hurts always finds a way, but he struggles. The reality is his saving grace has, when he can't figure it out, has been Saquon Barkley. It hasn't been there. They've been finding a way. Now he has to face a defensive coordinator. When has it been Saquon?
It wasn't Saquon last week.
It ain't been Saquon all year.
Not just 3 games.
It ain't been Saquon all year.
He had to turn to this last week.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
It ain't been Saquon all year, but he been doing this. He did this versus Todd Bowles, and this is all I'm saying. They're coming to Tampa. That heat is going to play a factor. It is going to play a factor on this team.
The Heat?
The heat.
Yes.
The humidity in Tampa, Florida is it's an extra teammate. But here, he struggles versus Todd Bowles' defenses, how he sends the blitzes at him, how he adjusts the coverage. This is where Jalen Hurts has struggled. His saving grace would have been Saquon Barkley. He had Saquon last year. Now, he didn't have the 2 wide receivers, but he had Saquon.
Yep.
Didn't go his way. I understand he has them. You got injuries on both sides. Chris Godwin might play. Tristan Wirfs might play, or whatever. This is going to come down to Jalen Hurts versus Todd Bowles. That is what this game is going to come down to, because he can't figure him out. And there's nothing wrong with that. Some people just got your number. This is top. We talked for dang an hour about Tom Brady and how cerebral he is.
Right.
He couldn't figure out Dennis Allen. I don't know why he couldn't figure him out. Jalen Hurts struggles with Todd Bowles' defense.
By the way, Tom figured him out in a playoff game at New Orleans. That's when he finally got him. He got him.
Oh, it's they tore him up.
And then
Drew Brees,
the Broncos couldn't figure out the Patriots. Patriots just used to tap that ass. I was part of the Patriots. We should just tap that ass.
That is true. That is
then
true.
just 1 year.
That is true.
Hey.
Yeah.
That's why I said.
2015.
But that's why I said.
We figured it out. We tapped that ass 2 times, won the chip.
How many times did that happen? Once, right?
Once.
And you said he figured him out one time?
One time.
What did I just say? Jalen Hurts is 1-4.
He's 1-4.
So he already figured it out that one time.
One time. Listen.
We got it.
I understand all the different aspects. That's what this game is going to come down to, because he just struggles versus Todd Bowles' defense. The middle of the pack and all that. When they were supposed to beat us in the playoffs. It didn't happen.
So, Gil, could I interrupt? I need to talk about Micah Parsons.
Listen, that's what we're about to go to.
Please.
When you're talking about tapping that ass,
listen.
Look directly.
I know. That's what I'm trying to get
directly at Keith.
Skip could look at this shit for 2 hours straight.
Hey, Jalen Hurts is 18-1 in his last 19 games, but we're gonna move on.
How many?
Hey,
okay,
he's cooking right now.
I don't know
who did he lose to? Okay.
All right, the game.
One last point. Gerald brings up a great point. He's 1-4 against Todd Bowles. Akib said they're hard to defend because they run the ball, they throw it outside. Those receivers have been missing for 2.5 games. And Saquon isn't rolling yet. They haven't figured out how to get him going, so I think they're coming in. They're limping a little bit, right?
They're limping.
But they're 3-0. They're 3-0, but they can get got. They can get got because they haven't figured out their identity on offense. They're trying to turn around and hand it to Saquon. Saquon's cutting in the back.
Did them receivers get going last week?
for one half.
That's all it takes, Richie.
I know, but I don't have trust in the play caller. I don't have trust in Patullo. I don't think they know they're not firing on all cylinders. They're not the juggernauts on offense that they were at the end of last season.
They look like juggernauts last week.
We're gonna see. I'm going for the Bucs though, because that's that's one of my teams. I got the Bucs.
I like
and
it.
I got Commanders, which was the last
cast pick one team. It's easy work.
I got the Commanders too, which was the last team.
That's easy work, right, Skip?
Yep. So look. Everybody got this game.
Real quick, Joe said Mayfield got everything that Jalen Hurts got. No, the fuck he don't.
Hey, first of all,
Why come he don't? He ain't got no goddamn rings.
Wait.
Where's the rings?
As a player.
Hey, as a player, where's the rings?
That thing that
Where's
he
the
had,
rings?
You know, Jalen Hurts.
He don't got those.
But Jalen Hurts.
That's the one thing that he don't got that Jalen Hurts got.
I'm talking about as a player.
Gil, let's move on.
Wait, hold on. I already started the next segment.
Let's start the next segment.
I already started the next segment already. Y'all not just gonna go backwards.
Put your foot down.
Okay?
Joe. Put your foot down.
I'm not gonna put it down too much because y'all are football players, but I did move on. All right, Michael Parsons going back to Dallas, and